Interesting. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising, guys. Grand Rising. Beautiful, beautiful night. Full moon is still in effect practically. You guys can still do whatever it is that you need to do, regarding whatever type of rituals or traditions or whatever it is that you guys do. You still are able to do that. Beautiful night. After a very long phone call I had last night, I still continue to meditate and do certain things that I felt was necessary in my life for the full moon last night. Um, beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's a pretty color. I think I'm going to try that color today. Guys, the road to recovery can be quite trying, but I'm here to tell you all that you can still do it you can still do it, period. Will it work for, let's just say, if more than one individual is involved? Who knows? Because that is a path that only that person can take. Y'all know I'm getting dressed while I'm talking to y'all. The road to recovery. The road to recovery can be full of bumps, rocks, stones, walls, trees, forests, oceans, and all of that. Y'all get the gist of it, right? It can be full of that. And as a matter of fact, it will be full of that. Now, the particular road of recovery I'm talking about is getting through the hurt of when someone has hurt you, getting through it and working through it and not letting it, deter the choices that you're making, not letting it reroute you totally on what your sole purpose is. That is the road to recovery of which I'm pertaining to. But I'm here to tell you guys that it can be done. And that's why I'm always expressing so much about make sure you're doing your self-love, because when you find that you are doing your self-love over anything else, everything else comes and starts to play into your life better. You're able to make a more clairvoyant, which is basically clear sight of the choices that you're going to make from here on out. Um, the road to recovery, of course, is your road and your road only. You can't expect someone to live up to your, let's say, expectations. You can have expectations of someone, but you cannot expect someone to live up to your expectations. You have to be careful when it comes to cohabitating, or, living or choosing to get into relationships. You just basically need to be careful and choose wisely when it comes to who it is that you're choosing to give your time to. The road to recovery can be a test, and actually it is a test. I'm always saying that a lot of times people, just making sure I'm blended right, y'all. A lot of times people forgive someone before they really know what's going to come with that forgiveness, and it becomes a really trying thing for them in that process of forgiving, because of the fact that it's real bright, but I'm going to still try it today. It's Friday. Why not? The fact of the matter is, it's still a time for you to keep growing. That's bright, but that's pretty. Oh my gosh, that's bang. Okay, well, we're going to blend that out some with some other color, though. At least for now. Maybe then later I'll pop it back out. It's Friday night. You know how that go, y'all. If you have decided to forgive someone, let's just say, for example, if you were in a relationship and in that relationship, someone, your significant other, wasn't honest with you on various things. Perhaps, say, it was a money situation, or infidelity, or just bad habits that was picked up, such as gambling, drug addictions, or anything like that. And you forgave them and you decided to stick it out with them. Remember, there's going to be trying times for you. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, who are you to say, or who are you to know? Do you have any type of education in what it is that you're talking about? You know, a lot of people only only take advice from people if they, went to school and got some type of certificate for it, without realizing the best advice to take is from someone who has had life experiences over many subjects, and also someone who's able to look at things from a logical side and make that judgment. It's not necessary for you to have a degree in something in order to steer someone the right way. That's not necessary at all. I think I still got a third color to put on, but that is really pretty. That is pretty. That is really pretty. Pop that out a little bit more. I'll do a close up at the end. That is like a bang bang cut. That is cute. But like I was saying, a lot of people think just because you didn't go to school for whatever, you have no right or no knowledge or no understanding of what you're talking about because you don't have that degree. But yet what you do have is a lot of life lessons that is teaching you and guiding you, or have taught you or have guided you to be able to make a logical viewpoint and, share your experiences with other people. But you do have a lot of people that feels like just because you don't have a degree in a particular subject, like a lot of subjects I talk about has to do with life and, what to do, how to fix this, what you should do, and all of that, and not realizing that if, blend that out, you have a lot of life lessons and you are at a certain point in your life as far as evolving and growing into the being that you were meant to be, you can make those decisions or give a great input on life, and perhaps even assist someone with difficult decisions that they may be having, because you're able to look at things from a different perspective. If you realize, even from the beginning of time, you had people making decisions before there were colleges and degrees. They went off of life lessons and different experiences and stuff that they went through their life. That's like saying, I can't tell a mother what to expect during childbirth because I'm not a nurse or I'm not a doctor, but yet I have that life experience of birthing children. You have to take it from that point of view. That's like saying, no, I don't want you to cook me anything because you don't know what you're doing because you didn't go to school to be a chef. Y'all see what I'm saying? A life experience and just having the experience, period, plays a major role in everything that people do and every decision that people choose to make. But a lot of people like to still, only judge you and tell you that you can't do this and who are you and why this and why that. But the road to recovery, guys, you have to realize that once you have decided to forgive the person, it is going to be a bumpy road. It's not going to be easy, especially depending on what it is that they've done to affect your life. You know, it's not going to be easy. A lot of pride is going to have to be let go of. Honesty is a must. And the road to recovery, you will find yourself always looking at that person in a different way, because you're truly not going to look at that person ever the same way again. Ever. You're never going to be able to look at that person the same way. And these are things that people don't discuss when it comes to the road to recovery, when we're talking about relationships and forgiving your significant other for whatever deed or wrongdoing they have done. This is things that people don't talk about, and I feel like it needs to be talked about. You know, you have to understand those things. You'll be able to make a better decision on everything when you have started to work on yourself, work on your self-love, growing in your education, reading. Meditation is very, very, very helpful. I'm going to start my car back. Again, self-love, I can't say that enough. Connecting with your spiritual guides and all of those things is very, very, very helpful when it comes to the road to recovery of forgiveness. You guys have to remember that. You have to remember that. You have to. So, like, learn how to take your advice from people with experience, like a drug addiction counselor. They are experienced in the habit and what you're going through. But when it comes to topics of life, you know, a lot of people feel that just because you didn't go to school, again, like I mentioned in this video earlier, you don't know what you're talking about, or you don't have the right to talk about those things. And you do. You absolutely do. You have every right to talk about those topics. Y'all, I gotta fix my eyebrow. You have every right to talk about those topics because of a life experience and you've been through it. A lot of domestic violence counselors are those who has been through it. They know the signs and all of the things and the different trigger points that you may have, or different triggers that you go through, you know, during your road to recovery. You don't necessarily have to have a degree to be able to help someone get back on their feet, inspire someone to be able to do better. You don't have to have all of that. You can simply have life experience, maturity, understanding, and of course, overall, non-judgment. Because when you start to only base your when you only start to take your advice from people because they have a degree, and 9 times out of 10 they don't have any of those life experiences that you're going through, how can they tell you anything? I mean, they can tell you some things, but how can they really relate? Do you think they can really relate? Or would you rather have someone that's relatable to you and understand what you've been through or what you're going through? You have to always look at it in that way. You know, even with marriage counseling, for example, if you are, let's just say, a Buddhist, let's just say a Baptist Christian, and you're going to go to marriage counseling and get it from a Catholic counselor? Do you think the same values and different things that you need, or the traditions that you've grown up with, is going to affect how you look at things, how your marriage should be? You know, you have to think about things like that. And a lot of people, they just don't think about that, you know. And I'm really trying to give different scenarios on the different things that people just tend to do and not pay attention to and, you know, look at, you know. I would take advice from, let's say, like if you were attempting to be a dope dealer and then you run across an ex-dope dealer who's been through all of that, went to prison, served time, learned their lesson, lost a whole bunch of loved ones, versus I would take his advice on what you shouldn't do, what you should not do. You know, don't do that because of his experience, versus someone coming straight out of a school because they have a degree telling me, oh no, because this and that happened. No, I'm going to take the experience first. I'm going to listen to the experience first. We get so caught up on degrees. Not saying you're not supposed to have a degree. You know, I'm not saying that at all. But, okay, seeing that glare. But at the same time, you also supposed to have logic, because we all know different folks, different strokes. We all know that. You know, if you're an adult, you pretty much know that the same rules doesn't apply to everybody. They tell you it does, but we already know it doesn't. We already know that, right? And I'm sorry, y'all gotta look up my nose. But I am getting my eyebrows right, y'all. I ain't trying to look crazy. So I just wanted to give that message, you know, whoever you have in your life that's giving you some input that can help you become a better person, some knowledge, some experience, some know-how, not just so straight out the text. You know, it's very important to take advice from people who has experience, who has same cultural differences, same cultural backgrounds, understands the struggle, been where you were. All of that plays a major role, a major role in everything. So I just want to say that this morning, guys. Remember that the road to recovery can be done, but it's going to take a lot of work, and many things will continue to get in your way. The road to recovery can be done, but you have to be mentally prepared for it as well. Can't get around that. And you have to understand it's not going to be perfect. A lot of people expect perfection on their road to recovery, and you have to remember it's not going to be perfect. Remember, you are an individual and you have your very, very own life to live, and I think everyone should live it. But the road to recovery is it's tangible. It can be done, guys. Have a great, beautiful day. Ashe, ashe, ashe.